Hi, this is Ting Duque and I'm a professional makeup artist, and today I'm going to show you how I do a nude makeup look on my celebrity clients. Now on prepped skin, I'm going to perfect her complexion by using the Tom Ford Soleil cushion. Today I use the shade Natural on her just to even out the areas where we just need to brighten. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to conceal. Choose a shade that's just a few shades lighter than your skin tone. The darkness is usually found right here in the inner corner of the eye. So now we're going to define Angie's-like features by using the Shade and Illuminate and the Illuminating Pen. That's exactly where you're going to apply the contour shade, a tiny bit in the nose area. So I'm going to use the Illuminating Pen because anything that's dark will make it recede and anything that's bright or light will make things pop out. And I'm just going to blend it by stippling it to the skin. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of color to the cheeks and a little bit more illumination. And I'm going to use the Shade and Illuminate Cheek. This is the beautiful shade that I chose for Ange. The reason also why I like working with creams, it just looks more natural. It melts on the skin. Personally, I like to use my fingers. That way, I don't rub off the foundation that we put on Ange's skin. In this palette, there is also a highlight. Where it's applied is usually at the top of the bone, right near the eye area. I'm going to warm up the skin by using the bronzer. This is the Tom Ford famous bronzer that everybody wants to have. And this shade is called Terra. I usually apply a bronzer by forming the number 3. I also use this to contour the nose. The next step that's so important, especially if you're doing the nude look, is to have defined brows. So I'm going to be using the Tom Ford Brow Sculptor in taupe. I'm just going to fill in the areas or just give it like a stronger line. Okay, now that we have perfected the brows, we are going to start on doing her eyes. We all have that problem where the eyeshadow doesn't last. A good trick is actually to use eyeshadow base. This is the quad eyeshadow that they have. I'm going to use this really nice peach shade. And I'm going to get the darkest shade of the eye pencil on the outer corner going into the crease area. I also use the darkest shade with a pencil brush and I just apply it right here in her lower lash. You get the satin shade and just apply it in the middle part of the eyes just to bring light and just to make the eyes pop. I'm going to get the lightest shade of the quad and I just apply it here in the inner corner of the eye. We're going to do the highlighting that everyone loves. Don't go ham, wag masyadong magwala. Ayaw naman natin magmukhang masyadong oily. Who doesn't love a good lip color? Line the lips with the Lip Sculptor in Extort. It's such a beautiful, like brown shade. I'm going to define Angie's lips by just lightly touching the lips with the lip pencil. If you want your lipstick to last long, you can use this as a base. I'm just overlining just a tiny bit just to give Ange a little bit more of like a fuller lip. The last step we're going to do is we're going to do the lipstick. And this is the Lip Lacquer in Softcore vinyl. If you want a little bit more definition, you can go over it again with your liner. If you feel like you just want to knock down the oil, just get a bit of the powder that you used. Just go over the areas where to bring down the oily areas. This is my basic nude makeup, usually used by my celebrity clients as their daytime look. Now, we want to switch it up to a little bit more of like a glamorous look. So let me show you how it's done. This has been going on the whole day. What I would do is get any oil blotting paper to remove the excess oil. So I've done that off cam. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen Angie's brows a little bit more. I'm going to use the eyebrow gel. This will make the eyebrow hair stand up and just give you more of a bushier look. The great thing about the Tom Ford selection of colors, they have a cream shadow that I super love. And what I'm doing is just patting it over whatever she has on right now. The key here is use like shades that are almost in the same family. I'm going to get this rose shade and just apply it in the inner part of Angie's eyes. So I'm going to add the yellow shade here at the inner corner of Angie's eyes. And I'm just going to apply this bronze shade in the outer corner just to intensify that area. And just to add a little pink shade, just for some drama, I just use my fingers. And then now we're just going to add a little bit more drama by adding some kind of arting eyeliner. And Tom Ford is known for their double-sided eyeliner. So this is in black. Just press it and bring it up. I recurled the lashes. Tip that I can give is when you do it again, just do it very gently as much as possible. And I'm just going to add a bit of mascara. Okay, now I'm just going to intensify the contours that we made. I'm just going to use bronzing powder. And I'm just going to add a brighter blush. It's okay to put a little bit more extra because blush is usually the first to fade. Okay, I removed the excess lipstick. I'm going to change her lip color. And I chose something that's a little bit more festive, brighter. Again, I like doing that technique where you fill in the lips with the lip pencil. And I'm just going to finish off her lips. And I think this goes so well with her eyes. And it just looks beautiful on her skin tone. I'd like to thank you guys for watching the transformation from daytime to nighttime. I suggest that you guys give it a try and have fun.